Hi everyone. So we're ready to start with our first episode of the Mixed Media Morsels series. And for those of you who did not see my last video, check it out if you want to hear more about what this is that we're taking on today. It's the last video I did that's titled Dendritic Prints on Acrylic and a Feedback Request. And after I show you a little bit about the dendritic prints on acrylic, I talked to you about this series. And what we're going to be doing is using a little small notebook and trying out lots of different mixed media techniques and recording them all in this little book to keep. And anyone who wants to play along is welcome to do so. And I'm really excited about it. I had a really good, overwhelmingly positive response when I asked the question in my last video about what you all think about this. And everyone is very positive and very excited, and that's just exciting to me. So I'm really glad you all want to take part in this. So what I'm going to do, especially for this very first episode, I'm going to keep it very simple and very minimal. And the main reason for that is, first of all, because we're just getting started. And the second reason is because not everyone maybe has found the book that they want to use or has created. That was another thing I was going to say. You can create a little book. I meant to say this in the last video. If you can't find these little mini composition books or a little wire-bound notebook of some kind, you know, you can certainly take some mixed media paper or some cardstock or typing paper or printer paper and just cut it to the size you want. This is roughly 3 by 4. And you can just cut those to the size you want and fold them in half. You can staple it on the end. You can open it up and staple it in the center. Just whatever you want to do to make a little booklet to keep these techniques in so that you will have them to refer back to, and they'll be all in one place. So today's, like I said, is going to be pretty simple, and I wanted to show you it's the plastic wrap background, and I wanted to show you, this is an older journal that I have from 2013, and this background is done in the technique that we're going to do today. So for a minute, ignore all the black that you see in the color of the little dragonflies here, but just look at the background by itself and look how cool that is. And I just think this is a really, really fun idea, and it's so easy, but it does take a little patience because you do have to wait for this to dry, and overnight is the best, to give it several hours to dry. So I wanted to show you what that looked like, and I actually have another one. Hang on one second. Here's a piece of a big sheet that I did, and I did a bunch of ATCs on it, and this is the same thing. Just did it on a piece of watercolor paper, a watercolor, like 140-pound watercolor cardstock. So that's just another one of the same type, with the same type technique on it. And so I wanted you to see what it looks like, because I may or may not show you this one in this video when we get done today. I may show it to you in the next video, because I do want to get this up and uploaded, to YouTube, so that you guys can start participating. So that's the technique we're going to do. So in the beginning, I gave you a little list of the supplies that you will need, and I mentioned binder clips. You can use any of this type of binder clips, and the main thing is just to hold down the pages, and like the cover is, wants to come up, and so if you have a book that's doing like mine is, if you put a clip on it, it's heavy and it holds it down. And the wax paper that I mentioned, I'm actually using some deli wrap that I used when I painted the covers of my book. So you can use deli wrap or wax paper. You can even put a paper towel in between, but the deli paper or the wax paper actually helps to prevent some of the wetness from going through to the next pages. So I really think it's a better idea to use a deli paper or wax paper. Okay, so we've got this in place, and then we're going to need water and paint. Now, if you're not sure about which colors will mix together without making mud, you can use 2 shades of the same color, like a light green and a dark green will mix well together. But if you know which colors blend, for instance, like red and yellow make orange, and blue and red make purple, and blue and yellow make green. If you know which things go together, you can certainly mix colors like that. I think I'm going to just decisions. This is the only part I didn't think about ahead of time. I think I'll go with the pink and yellow. And that will make an orange color when it blends together. So, here's a pink. And here's a yellow. Okay? See, these are just regular craft paints. No big deal. You don't have to use anything expensive for this. These are all just practice rounds. Now your paper, you're going to want it to be good and wet. So if your paints are really thick, you're going to want to add a little water. I've got water in a spray bottle. You can use clean water from, you know, your jar that you wash your brush in or whatever. Just make sure it's clean. And you can just kind of use a wet brush, basically. Let me see here. I need a brush. Okay, this one will do. This yellow is pretty thick. This one's pretty thin. So, and it's okay where your clip is here. You're going to probably want to leave it in place because the paper will probably curl when it gets wet. So we want to try to keep it, you know, flattened out. And so just leave it there. And then later when everything's dry and you remove this, you can always go back to that corner and touch it up with whichever colors you were using. So it should work out fine. Okay, that's pretty thick. Let's see. This one I think is thinner. So I am going to just lightly mist the, I don't really want the cover to get all wet. So let's see. Maybe we'll put this sheet of deli paper here to protect that. Okay. Now let's slid it off the edge. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to lightly mist it just to make sure it's damp. And then I'm just going to put on a little yellow, put on a little pink. Okay, I'm just wetting my brush. Okay, so you just want to paint your page. And you want it to be pretty moist, like I said. You don't want to brush it dry. I'm going to add just a tiny bit more pink up here, I think. Okay, and just cover your page. Okay, and then you're going to take a little piece of the kitchen saran wrap or plastic wrap. I've got a red color. It's red like for holidays. And I bought it accidentally one time, so I just threw it in my drawer here in my art room. And then just put the plastic wrap over the wet paint and then smush it up a little bit and make wrinkles in the plastic wrap, okay? You do want wrinkles on this because this is what's going to give you that cool texture on your page. You may be able to hear the fireworks outside, firecrackers and things people are doing. This is New Year's Eve night. Okay, put a tiny bit more paint right here where it's white there. Okay. All right, so you just want to leave this on and do not lift it up and take it off or anything until the paint is dry, which, like I said, is going to take several hours for all that wetness to dry up. So I'm trying to wrinkle up my wrap without wrinkling up my page, and I'm not being very successful at it. Okay, that's good enough. So anyway, it'll just be a small area of coolness, but you'll get the effect and you'll see how well it works. So that's what's cool. All right, so that is it for this particular episode, and you know, we'll get into more exciting, you know, type things later. In fact, we'll probably come back to some of these backgrounds we do. We'll probably come back and add something to these backgrounds at some point too. So this will just be the first step, and it'll be something simple so that people who haven't had time yet to get their books and maybe to get some supplies together, they'll have a chance to do that and do this simple first step and not get, you know, very far behind if they want to keep up with the whole process. So I just thought we'd start out simple and easy, and then we'll just build from there. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys do. So be sure and you know, take a picture and post it on Facebook, and please tag me so that I'll see it. If you don't tag me, I may miss it because I do not scroll through, you know, my Facebook feed on a regular basis. I try to catch everything that I'm tagged in, but I don't just scroll through. A lot of times I do, but not very often, and so just make sure you tag me because I would like to see it, and there's a good chance I'll miss it if you don't tag me. So, and also by tagging me, it will go onto my timeline, and then any of you who want to see what everybody else is doing can just, you know, pop over to my timeline and just scroll through and take a look and see what, you know, what people are doing and how their backgrounds turned out. So I think that would be a fun thing for us to do, and you know, we'll just see how it goes, and I think it'll work out great, and that way we can kind of keep in touch that way too. All right, guys, thanks so much, and we'll see you again soon for the next one. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.